thank you to SnakeStone97 for their generous donation on Patreon.
The hell got into me last night? Somebody's banging on the door to the office downstairs. It's morning? Shit. I don't remember us falling asleep. We did so much I must have conked out. Sam is on his side with his back to me, his tail resting between my legs. I checked my watch. It's almost 7 a.m. there, so 5 a.m. Shit! I touch my temples and rub, then shake his shoulder. Time to wake up, sunshine! Already am. What the... I stopped shaking. When did you get up? Can't be sure. Feels like hours ago. You get enough shut-eye? Enough. Yeah. Say, William? He still hasn't turned around yet. He's looking up at the walls. Are the walls in this building hollow? Bit of a queer thing to say. I imagine that's in the old-timey way of using that word, as in odd or peculiar. Especially first thing in the morning. Sounds don't get out too well, so they're insulated with something. Why do you ask? Naked Sam again! I feel like I messed up earlier. At some point I referred to Sam when I meant to refer to William. William was the one spouting a bunch of stuff about control. Sam was the one that was gagged up. I misspoke. I don't remember when, but I apologize. I know I'll catch it at some point in editing, and I might put up a text or something. I don't know if I will, but oopsie poopsie. You turned around, still looking up. Heard things crawling around. Sometimes it sounded like something was going to break out. Sometimes I have to wonder if his head is completely okay. That Jack fella really fucked him up. See any cracks in the walls then? No. At least I don't think so. Then tell me if you do. Glide my hand over his shoulder, but take it back as he sits up. His back is hunched and his head is hanging low. He could probably use some water. Jesus! Banging's just getting louder. Better not be Todd. I peek through the shutters and guard the sunlight from my eyesight. It's him. I've told him 12 times where the spare key to the office is. Oh, it's not like I complain. I just slept in and got caught with my pants down, so to speak. Let's fix that. I get dressed as quickly as I can. Then I remember that I was going to get Sam some water. Todd can wait a little longer. I fetch a glass in the living room, fill it up, then bring it to him. Drink. Some fluid will help wake you up.
Who's making that fuss outside?
It's just Todd.
Sounds urgent.
It's probably not. Because if it were urgent, he'd remember where I put the spare key. Might be. But I'm not letting you out of my sight until you finish that glass of water. He glares, then tips the head back to chug it. Bit cheeky, but it gets the job done.
There, all done.
He pushes the covers off and plants his feet on the floor a little stiffly and blinks. His eyes aren't rolling back or drifting out of focus, and his pupils aren't contracting and dilating, so there's a relief.
You done staring me down, Sheriff?
Is he really gonna judge me for staring, as if asking if somebody's walls are hollow or not is normal? That's the kind of stuff that makes me worry about you, Sam. No need. My gaze had its fill of you last night. Must have been hard for you. Todd's still banging on that door. You gonna get that? Not until you're dressed and ready to go downstairs. I'll be quick about that. Hey, he was quick about that. It took one little transition there. Good job. He steps over his undergarments and drawers on the floor and tugs a fabric up his legs. So you're the one volunteering to get the door then? He waddles towards the shades and tilts his head. Nah. Then hurry up. I have to lock the door behind me. He's mumbling about eating his ass under his breath, as if I can't hear him, while he snatches his shirt, tucks it in, then hooks his suspenders over his shoulders. Finally, he's ready to go, and I lock the door on the way out. Todd's still pounding on the door like a madman. Hold your goddamn horses, I'm coming! I let him finish his flurry of blows before turning the knob, letting the door creak open. Oh, fuck me, really? Just got a comment about an hour ago into this recording session, when I started this recording session, from James42519, shout out to you, letting me know that with the 1.01 update of Echo, which added some short stories that I want to take a look at, but apparently they also added pictures of spiders, or a picture of spiders, to a scene that features in Echo episode 52, and I have arachnophobia, so that's gonna be a nope from me, buddy. That's gonna be a nope from me. Well, there you are, Sheriff. He looks a bit of a mess. Did you forget about the key, Todd? Oh, right. Well, that ain't important right now. I needed to tell you that I met Huxley Greene. Well, that's good news at least. Oh, yeah? And what sort of state was he in? Well, none too good, considering he didn't have a head. What? You mean he's dead? What the fuck? No, he was just fucking. Well, that's what the wallet in his pocket said. But I brought the body just to make sure. What? I grabbed his shoulder to move him aside and see the carcass-sized pillowcase. You dragged this all the way here? Well, I figured you would like to look at him before the bugs and buzzards got the rest of them. I lift my shirt over my nose and crouch down, then lift the sheets off the body. It's frozen, so the smell isn't as bad as it could be, but there are pieces of fur and flesh missing. Those are definitely his clothes, though. I'd recognize Marcy's stitch work anywhere. And hard to mistake the thick, bald rat tail that looks more like a pale worm than anything else. Yeah, that's probably him. Let's haul him inside. Yes, sir. Todd carries one side and I carry the other into the open jail cell we had used the other night for the same purpose. I check outside again to see if we dropped anything. There's nothing much to look at. I would have thought this man was lying low or hopped out a train out of town. Well, how did he lose his head? Maybe that's how. Also, where did you find him? But something like this in a place like here? Just yet another thing that don't make much sense. Well, you know what they say. 6 of 1. Sorry, that's a Harmon Quest reference. When it's your time, it's your time. Who's they exactly? Some Jesuits down the street. The man had his head ripped off. He didn't die of old age. Well, I already know that. I mean, if he's been dead for, let's be honest, what looks like at least a few days, then he would have had to be real quick about issuing a hit on Mr. Tibbetts. See what I'm saying? Todd blinks at me. Come on, you can put it together. Are you saying that he just hated what he couldn't understand? I'm saying he might not have placed the hit, Todd. Well, if not him, then who? Now that's a great question, Todd. Notebook updated. Notebook? There's a notebook? Wait a fuck. What the with the fucking music and everything. With the bones sticking out in the fucking Family Guy ass pose. Fucking hell. Todd's sitting there like, I don't know. And there's the only page. So that's the only note in the notebook, huh? Huxley Greene is dead. His body was found frozen. That's an odd detail. Decapitated with ripping force. Wait, ripping force? Okay, hold up. 1, you haven't told us where it was found. 2, how the hell did the body get frozen? I know that it gets cold in the desert at night, but frozen? That's a hell of a detail. There's only, like, one person around here that can afford an industrial-sized fucking freezer. So that's a fucking clue. But also, 3, ripping a head off. That's not the same as slicing a head off. And a train would crush a head off. If someone, like, held their head down to a, while a train passed by. So, like, that's, you're missing 3 huge fucking things about this right off the bat. But that was fucking funny. That was really fucking funny. The notebook gag. That's fucking funny as hell. This is why... It was William's notebook, too. This is why I always bring my notebook with me when I'm keeping track of my thoughts. Oh, the notebook got updated again? Oh, there it is again! Where was the body found? Ask Todd later. Why not ask him now? Also, very cute illustration. You just have time to sketch all that out? Man, William should open up an Etsy or something. But at least you picked up on that. You should definitely ask him right now where the body was found. You should not ask him later, but you ought to start picking up that practice yourself. Now, what do you say we do what we should have done in the first place and pay Mr. Tibbetts a visit? Ask him along the way. Start walking there. I turn and see the red of Sam's eye staring from my office. We'll be back soon. Keep the interior locked. Okay. He disappeared behind the window, and we heard the heavy lock of the door click. Shouldn't be long. I don't know if that's true, but he is just next door. So, wait, what's Sam doing in there at this hour? Debriefing. Technically not wrong. Gee, I guess he does work late hours, doesn't he? He works hard.
And there's no shame in that.
I didn't exactly say that, Todd.
I just mean I think he must have done all sorts of really difficult things.
I give him a look. You think about those things a lot, Todd?
No.
He doesn't say anything else for the rest of the walk.
That's when you ask him. Ask him. Why you say ask later in your cute-ass notebook when you just fucking ask him then? Ripping force. The only thing that could rip off a head at this point would be the Echo Monster. Flynn fucking making a cameo. Just like, come on, man.
When we reach the door to Mr. Tibbetts' apartment, some things immediately don't make sense.
Oh no!
This lock is scratched to hell and back. I swivel the knob to see if it's locked, and it's completely loose.
I told you once and I'll tell you again that you aren't welcome here! I'll have you know that if you knock down that door, the authorities will be here in an instant!
It's just us, Mr. Tibbetts.
You missed an opportunity to say,
You ain't kidding! I'm already here!
Oh, thank goodness!
I hear some of the furniture move around and something rattles against the door. The door pops open and the twitchy little man takes a step back.
Please come in. I'll put on some tea. What the fuck happened? And why do you look so happy? What the fuck happened? What happened to what happened to Cliff? I want to make... And where's Murdoch? What kind? Black with a bit of bergamot. Bergamot. Surely, I don't know what the hell that is. I'm just pretending.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Tibbetts, but do what makes you feel comfortable. Just get straight to the point and tell us what the hell is going on up here.
Well, I had thought it was patently obvious that I am frightened, Sheriff.
Don't be cute. Frightened of who?
Of that brute and bully that calls himself Reed. Notebook. Cliff claims Reed tries to break into his apartment. And Cliff, this is so cute. Notebook is so cute. Cliff's on the inside all scared and, well, it was, I mean, this is such an upsetting scene, but it's drawn so adorably. It's hard to be upset. Man, this is such a cool inclusion to the game. I love this. That wolf came clawing at my door tonight and broke the lock. Well, that's terrible. That's not the half of it. He would have been upon me if I had not barricaded the door with all of my furniture I could put together in this ramshackle apartment.
So you know it was him for sure? The stoat was filling his kettle and striking a match beneath the wood stove.
I'd know that greasy gray fur and those dumpy little ears anywhere. And if I were blind, there'd of course be the smell. You know, mustelids get all sorts of earfuls about how we put off an offensive odor simply because of our ordinary body sense. But canines have a particular kind of reek to them that's unmistakable.
He stopped all of a sudden, a bit flushed in the ears.
Well, he's right about that, William. Yeah.
I do not give one iota of a fuck about this conversation. Mr. Tibbetts, please focus. I'll check into Reed.
That's splendid, but I won't feel a moment's peace with that madman on the loose.
I'd like you to stay at the station for a while.
You think I'd feel safer inside of a prison cell?
Nobody said nothing about any prison cells.
Well, he has a comfy couch in his office. Heck, I've slept there plenty of times. Not on taxpayers' dollars, I hope.
Todd looks like he just got hit in the face with a shovel. There's no way he'd be able to handle somebody like Cliff on his own. Let's talk about the other things to do to keep you safe. He had turned to look at me as he was filling metal capsules with dry leaf and flower bundles.
Such as?
It's common protocol to investigate a victim a little closer after they've been attacked. Helps us piece together a few things. He places 3 teacups on his little table.
I think you'll find I'm an open book, so ask away.
I'm still curious as to why Cliff is in this town still. What of his expedition?
Let's start with who you think might want you dead.
Seems rather obvious, doesn't it?
Just tell me who you think it is.
Huxley and Reed, without a doubt.
Okay. I watch his expression as he puts down little teacups onto the table. But who else? His lip curls as he looks sideways, which probably means that he was thinking about it before I asked him.
Perhaps somebody who doesn't want me here.
Now we're getting somewhere. But why go through all the trouble to use violence to stop your academic endeavor? I lean in a little bit closer. I hear plenty of stories about how cutthroat a field of academia is without even needing any bloodshed. The kettle whistles.
A moment.
I can tell he's relieved by this distraction.
Sugar and cream.
Sugar and cream!
So who do you think might use violence against you, Cliff? Because they don't want you here? He pours his own cup of tea first, then Todd's, then mine.
Perhaps some greedy businessmen who don't see eye to eye with my benefactor.
I doubt I'd know their names. So who is this benefactor that brought you to Echo?
The same man who drew you here, from what I understand.
Name him, please.
Sorry, but that's confidential.
Mr. Tibbetts. Just because I asked you nicely doesn't mean you can withhold that information. This is basic information pertinent to whether or not your worker's permit can be deemed valid.
Well, bend my arm, why don't you?
The name, Tibbetts.
Very well. It's Mr. Hendricks, of course.
Notebook. He's even like, how do you make James cute? But of course, Cliff is fucking adorable here. Cliff works with James for CGCS, and James is being all hush hush, and Cliff is dancing for him. This is such a cute, fucking awesome, and realistic. It also adds character development, and it's such a diegetic ass thing for his character to have a notebook. And God damn it, I love the Notebook. I love it so much. God, I love it. I love it so much. So, we kind of knew that Mr. Hendricks is trying to build a railroad, but of course, meta knowledge, we know why he's doing it. But at this point, Cliff does not, in this route, know why.
I'm not surprised at all. This is exactly the kind of clown shit that would have his name all over it. But I want to rely on as few assumptions as possible. Could I see your official paperwork?
I don't see how that's relevant to anything, but of course.
He picks up the satchel by his feet, unlatches it, and then plucks a gray folder from it and passes it to me. I thumb through it. It states his full name, Clifford Tibbetts.
Ooh, forged documents. Interesting.
And his job title, consultant, in gold letters. Health information follows. This is beautiful stationery.
Thank you.
I hand it back to him. Government-issued typeface is bare bones and clinical. This is a CGCS form, not an official government verification.
Oh, you've been fucked up!
I'm afraid that my work permit is still moving through the post. If I'm lucky, it should arrive in a week or two, and you'll have your paperwork then.
As far as I can tell, everything this man has told me has been truthful, but I can tell that his cards still aren't all on the table. What's something official that you have that can prove you are who you say you are?
Oh, man.
Would travel tickets suffice, Mr. Adler?
It's better than nothing.
Well, it's the last thing I have.
He slides me a ticket. It states a passage for one person on an ocean liner. A Cornelius Van Howelink.
Oh, there it is. There it is, man. Wow, they just blunt as hell. So I guess that would be the last thing.
Your ticket, Mr. Tibbetts.
That's mine.
This is a ticket for a man named Cornelius. He looks down.
And that's my, birth name.
Notebook time. Cliff's real name is Cornelius. That's right. I guess that's a writing thing. I don't know if that's an in-character typo or a whatever, but he claims he does not have a worker's permit. Okay, so this might be William just not being this is William writing it, so it might work. But it's so cute having fucking Cliff being oh no. I love it. 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 I love it so much.
I don't believe it is criminal to have an alias, is it, Sheriff Adler?
Not really, no.
Lots of people do it, especially when they're writing books. It is a bit romantic to be able to choose your own name, isn't it? All you have to do is pick your mother's maiden name as your own, and suddenly you can turn yourself into a sports writer rather than a romance author. You can become anything you want, really.
But there's a difference between calling yourself something new and living out a good part of your life as that something. You might not want to be what you choose to become. And life isn't a pen name or a book cover or a change of scenery. It's everything you are. My wristwatch sounds too damn loud again. It's just a bit concerning, what with everything that's happened around you is all.
Oh, and that's my fault, is it?
The weasel sips his tea.
You bit off a bit more. You bit off more than you can chew when you took this job, didn't you? Hey!
Oh, shit.
Why are you being so unneighborly with us?
The stoat gestures broadly to his wrecked living room.
Because I'm a little bit frightened right now, Mr. Bronson. I think we want the same things, though, right, Sheriff? I help you unmask some of the monsters trying to murder me, and I just keep telling you the truth like I always have. But just let me hold on to the idea of what I want to be a little longer, and let me keep using that new name.
So there it all is, then. I can recognize a fair deal when I see one. I hold out my paw to him. He clasps it cautiously. You gonna stay at the station then, or what?
Let me go wake Mr. Burns first, and I'll be on my way shortly.
Burns is here?
He has work early. I didn't want to wake him.
I thought you said you were attacked.
You think I can't riposte, Mr. Adler? I told you that I can take care of myself. Mr. Burns was running a fever, and he's practically naked at the moment.
I'll give y'all some space then.
I thought I understood the word, but just out of curiosity, riposte. Just to double check. A quick, clever reply to an insult or criticism. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but I guess maybe that was just to ward off Reed. I thought William's point was that the attack would have woken up Murdoch. So I'm not sure what Cliff being able to insult his way out of Reed being there. I don't know. I don't get it, but whatever.
Very good. I shan't be long.
We do get to see a different side of Cliff in this route that is interesting to play out.
We waited a while outdoors until we see a very weary-looking Murdoch emerge from the apartment. He looks from side to side, rubbing his snout before making his way toward the direction of his father's store. He staggers a bit, but he makes his way there. Mr. Tibbetts leaves the apartment 5 minutes later with a heavily stuffed bag and follows us to the station. I feel like I'm in the calm of a hurricane before the storm comes. I think I was right about disaster following this weasel, but I don't think he's the only one stirring up trouble by far. Considering the way Huxley died, and with Cliff having ties to James, I'm almost certain now that the rat didn't place the hit on the stoat. But if that's the case, then how did he get the gun? And if Cliff is telling the truth, then why was Reed trying to break into his apartment? Did they plan the hit together and then something happened to Mr. Greene before he lost his gun? Maybe. I'll have to have a chat with Reed again before I have any reason to believe he has that much spite. Because as of now, that still don't make much sense to me. I'd pin down Reed as a guy willing to get his own hands dirty, or to start shit when he's bored. He could definitely beat a man to death in broad daylight if he were mad and drunk enough, but plotting a murder while sober, I just can't see it. If the two of them already jumped this weasel in broad daylight, then what's the point of giving a kid a traceable gun to take care of him in secret? Maybe they just fucked it up. Simple as that. Case closed. But then, how did he get his goddamn head severed? I have more than a few things to consider now. I could go to the mayor and have a little chat about how things are going. Any time, really. He spends most of his time in his office doing nothing when there isn't a ribbon to cut or a speech to unload. And he has no real jurisdiction over me. Or I could go to the Stag that Nick and the Burns boy keep bringing up from time to time. It's the biggest men's club in town. And more importantly, I know that the mining union tends to congregate there. Perhaps the suggestion to go wouldn't be a waste of time after all. Tricky thing is, wherever I go first will take all day. If I want Nick's help at the Stag, it'll have to be at night. But if I want a more private audience with the mayor, and I don't want Nick there at the Stag with me, I should maybe go to the Stag first. Notebook time! I wonder what folks at the Stag might have to offer. He's thinking through it all. The music isn't blending properly on this one. Oh, it's got chaos written all over it. Cute picture though. Oh, sorry. The music didn't fade like it usually did on that one. That was weird. Regardless, I shouldn't stall. Where am I going first? Wow, City Hall or the Stag? That's a hell of a decision. See, the notebook thing mentions the Stag, and the Stag's an option here.
So that to me, I think might be a clue at pointing us toward the stag, rewarding those who have been looking at the notebook. Plus, I don't think there's going to be much to look at with City Hall. The mayor doesn't seem to be much more than an empty shirt. There might be something that surprises us that comes out there. What I am going to do is go with the stag. And I did save, but what I'm going to say, of course, is I'm going to go with the stag now. But in the comments, let me know if City Hall was the better option. And if I need to come back and in a different episode go with City Hall instead, as it is the much better choice, let me know. Let me know in the comments. So let's go with the stag. Todd, watch the station while I head to the stag. Oh, so you're finally gonna learn how to dance, Sheriff? This isn't for fun, Todd. I'm gonna scope the place out and ask some questions. And I already know how to dance. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You do know an awful lot. Why don't you show him how, Sheriff? He seems eager. Oh, shut the hell up, Sam.
I've been told that I can be very eager.
What the fuck does that mean, Cliff? What?
Numerous times.
Nah, this is something I think the sheriff should do.
Smarmy shit. You're the expert on moving your legs. You do it.
Sam's a dancer? No.
Oh, nonsense. Everybody's a dancer when they find the right rhythm. Now, let's find some music and make some ourselves.
Have fun, Sam. Jesus Christ, what a fucking circus. Oh, God, this picture means so much different stuff to me now that I know that the cliff route is going in that direction.